going on YouTube, Boxing Family? It's K right here. I'm here with the champ, or he should have been champion, Mr. Brandon Bulletproof Glanton. Please let everybody know who you are and how'd you get into boxing.
All right. Well, like you said, it's Braden Bulletproof Glanton. Thanks for having me. Got into boxing. I was playing collegiate football at ASU, and one of my buddies introduced me to the sport, and I just fell in love with it. Did pretty good on Team USA and the WSB team, then moved over to the pro ranks and been killing it there too. So that's pretty much it for me, man. Just kicking ass and taking names.
Yeah, man. Let's talk about the football because when I first heard about your name on PBC, they had like a really good backstory on you. And correct me if I'm wrong, but you played at Division 1 football, and you were like about to get into the NFL or something like that,
I
right?
was gonna say all that. Hey, one thing about it, you got to believe you can do something. I never believed I was cut for the NFL. I realized at one point that I wasn't cut, and if you don't believe, then you can't do it. But like I said, boxing, I felt completely different about it. Yeah, I started, my position DN and nose, but like I said, boxing just more it resonates more with me, and I was able to finish my undergrad and my master's, and then get ready for the Olympics. So I just I love it.
Yeah, that's very interesting that you say that because I think the problem with a lot of like American athletes, like when it comes to boxing, is that not a lot of our best athletes really focus on the sport. It's always like basketball, baseball, football, or how should I say, like any sport that's mainstream that brings the audience to say, hey, this guy is going to be like the next best thing. But convert it over to boxing, it's like that's very hard to do because boxing really only makes up at least, like, I probably say 20 to 25% of the US population when it comes to talent. But converted to other sports, that's a much higher scale. But as far as your training regimen and what you went through, was it like a lot much easier for you to get into the sport because you already had that potential inside of you to become the athlete that you are now?
Um, Look, I mean, that's tough. Everybody's different. I believe in the 10,000 hour theory, so I believe and then you do something 10,000 hours and you do it 10,000 times, you become great at it, right? So, hey, thank you. You good, all right? You know, you gotta. If you really want anything in this world, it's not easy. So I'm definitely not gonna say it was easy, um, but it's well worth the journey. I
Yeah.
mean, you know, that's a multi-tiered question, my friend.
No,
So
all right.
easy, no. Um, Loved every bit of it, absolutely. Good times and bad times.
What was the hardest thing getting into the sport? Did you have certain doubts getting into boxing where there's like certain risk and certain things that you went through that made you think that this is going to be like a much harder journey than expected?
Yeah, when I lost my scholarship and I had to pay for school, that was pretty tough.
Wow.
And deciding if I was gonna go to Sugar Burt tournament, shout out to Sugar Burt, or pay my power bill. That was a pretty tough one. Obviously, I chose to go to the tournament. And I got back home and the lights are off. So, but hey man, I love it. It's been well worth it. Boxing shows you exactly who you are. So I'm glad to say that boxing showed me I am who I say I am.
Yeah. I was gonna ask about your amateur pedigree. Like, did you run into any of like the notable names that are current, in the sport? Who'd you run into?
Yeah, I faced Philip Porgovich.
Oh wow.
I faced Joshua Temple. I don't know how well he's doing as a professional. Um, I had a few names. I had a few names. I don't remember everybody from WSB. So, um, but definitely a great amateur career. Um, I'd do it all again. That's for sure.
How does it work? Like, of like especially getting into the amateurs, at with the more heavier weights, do they put you up in there with heavyweights or guys like that are much more bigger than you, or
What
do you still
What do you mean?
like let's just say like if you're like a cruiserweight getting into boxing, but you go through the amateurs, do they have you spar against like bigger guys, or like does it like work on like the same sense of that you're still training with guys like around your size?
No, I've always worked with heavyweights. Guys my size and smaller cannot take the punch.
Yeah.
The one guy, or two guys, I would say, Artur Beterbiev and Radivoje Kolesic or Hot Rod. Those are two smaller guys who can stand there with me, but I can't name anyone else who was able to stand up to that.
Oh wow. Yeah, because those guys that you're mentioning, they be hitting so hard, and I'm just like curious of like how they're able to really hang in there with you.
Yeah, I've been in there with the hardest punches in the world, man. I've beat up all type of champions, so that just kind of that's the easy part, you know.
Yeah. I was gonna ask about your professional career. I'll go back and rewind, about the great victory that you had over Fa like Apoche. After that fight was over, did PBC ever consider trying to work with you? Like what happened with that?
No, PBC was angry that I beat him, so
What?
they kept me down for 10 months. Hey,
Wow.
shout out Tom Brown.
Oh.
I don't understand. Shout out Sylvia Owens. Probably shouldn't have done that, but whatever, man. Uh,
Dude, that's so messed up. Like,
you know, I,
really?
I bigger than that. Let me stop playing here. Bigger than that, I don't, I can't. When I was angry, I was blaming them, but uh, excuse me. But when I calmed down, I was able to look at it like maybe they just didn't have the cruiserweights needed to be able to do something with me. So I
Yeah.
do legitimately feel that they wanted to see me get beat, but um, try again. you know,
Yeah.
uh,
Um,
I can't say the same for Sylvia. She was kind at one point, and then it just seemed like she just didn't. I don't know, but hey, that's boxing, man. You can't get your feelings wrapped up in this stuff. So, um, hey, I wish PBC nothing but the best, man. I have no feelings of animosity or anger. If anything, it just made me better.
yeah. Yeah, because I find that very shocking that you told me that, because I was thinking like for anybody that has like a big moment like that, especially to be on national television to get a good victory like that, that should definitely increase your stock higher. And I'll even compare it with that one other fighter that I'm friends with. He's fighting in
Yeah,
that
should pick
upcoming
up my Rich Glanton, Glanton.
Okay,
Uh,
so someone will be right with you, okay?
but say that one more time for me.
Yeah. Like I was going to compare, another instance with like another fighter that I'm friends with. I don't know if you know his name. His name is Stephen Big Shot Shaw, and
Oh
he's
yeah,
like,
yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah. Stefan told me about the same story that you basically told me like he had everything going, with PBC, and one day out of the blue, they just decided to basically send him like on the shelf and treat him like crap. And his father, he got pissed off to the point where, but the management with the PBC decided to wave him off, and basically Stefan, he's been sitting on the shelf trying to get fights, and it, like I mean, good enough he's able to work with Top Rank, because he's fighting on this upcoming January on the FA card. But I just think I just think for stuff like that, that's just like really poor business, and that really hurts fighters that are trying to make their name, that are trying to get up there to the higher ranks.
Yeah, the thing is, us as fighters, we gotta learn to take our feelings out of it. But uh, sorry about that. We gotta learn to take our feelings out of it, which is, it's hard to do. We're human, right?
Yeah,
Um, Sometimes these promoters really just don't have the fighters to be able to continue those things. You understand?
yeah,
So that has a lot to do with it. Now, I know the world is a big place, so that maybe that's not true, but I feel like there's a better way to look at it. If you haven't,
yeah. Um, can you hear me? Or
yeah. And I said if you know you haven't pissed anybody off, you hadn't hurt anybody, you hadn't done anything wrong, maybe they just don't have the fighters available.
yeah,
I don't know. I'm still wrestling with that, but as of now, I mean, I'm happy with Pro Box. You know, I can't speak on. Well, I can speak on it, but I can't call it what may have happened in the past.
yeah, yeah. Speaking of Pro Box, how'd that come about? Did that just get offered to you out of the blue that gave you the opportunity to skyrocket your day more?
I was actually trying to get a fight, and they offered me the opportunity to come in and have a paid bout. So I was working with a group of people who paid me to have a fight on their card, and it just kind of took off from there. I had already had a relationship with ProBox, but I didn't, you know, I hadn't made a decision, so things went so smoothly. I was just like, you know what? That's the deal sealed. I had already been dealing with them for so long anyway.
Yeah,
I just didn't fight. So, I was able to make something happen.
yeah, because I like their platform. I think they operate kind of just like PBC, like in a way, but they're actually helping out people like yourself or any up and coming fighters, and like I would hope it grows to become like a much bigger platform because it seems like they're on the right path. But like as far as your end goal of what you want to do to become champion and move forward with like higher names to fight in the future, do you believe that's at the right path to get you to where you need to be?
Yeah, for sure. You know, Pro Boxer is new; it's still young, so obviously there are some things that are gonna be better. But it's just like any other company. You got the Zone, you got uh, Matchroom, all these little apps, right? So um, it'll get better. I've heard some people have some gripes, but that's anything. That's how you take the road to getting better, and everything runs so smooth over at ProBox. Uh, I think it'll be much faster than a DAZN or PBC. So I've got faith in it. Gary is a smart guy. If you ever get a chance to talk to him, he's a smart guy. So you know, he's a wealth of knowledge. So anytime you have that type of of Captain. We're bound for great things.
Yeah, like I find that very interesting because it seems like how things are going in the spacing for just like getting fighters to where they need to be. It's all about risk and reward, and also where the result will be. But I think, like, in your viewpoint, if you're trying to manage a fighter that wants to become great, like all the other greats listed in boxing, what's the best way to do it? Do you have to move the fighter fast, or do you have to move the fighter slow, or do you need to match them up tough or match them up easy? Like, is there like a set standard and principle to get there to be great?
No, you can't. You can't put everybody on the same road because different fighters require different things. Some guys have a lot of potential, but they can't be moved so fast. Some guys need some room to grow. And you got other hard nosed guys who can be moved fast, who, if you move them slow, you might hurt them because they're moving so slow. They might not have that fire for forever. So that's what makes it an art. That's what makes it a beautiful thing. A promoter, a matchmaker, or a manager, they got to have that ability. And that's why they get paid so much money, right?
Yeah, that's the messed up part about it that I get really angry about because it's like you should be the one that should get paid a lot of money for your services because you're the one going out there testing yourself against all the deadly sharks out there. But I truly believe when it all comes down to it, the consumer should be the one voting with their dollar to be choosing which fight should be displayed out to the public. But when it comes to certain promotional banners that give out really lackluster fights, doesn't that kind of hurt with the other fighters that are trying to get their names out there that are trying to call out other guys to get their like reputational status up higher?
Well, I mean, that's been a long, a really bad problem in boxing. People giving up giving these lackluster fights. So I think that's why the sport has slowed down tremendously. But I think it's on the way to getting better. Um, that's what Pro Box is for. It's giving 50-50 fights. So go download the app, Pro Box TV.
Yeah, speaking of pro box, let's talk about that fight between you and David Light. I thought you beat the living crap out of him, but I didn't think that fight was a split decision or whatever. Could you break down how you like went through that fight? Like, because it seemed like David got hurt more than you got hurt. You were actually just, basically bulldozing him. All 12 rounds or 10 rounds, right?
Yeah, 10 rounds. Um, shout out to David Light. Really tough guy. I told you I was gonna hurt you, man. But hey, of course not. I know I won the fight. David knows I won the fight. He saw how surprised he was when he was holding, the belt. So um, all I can say is anytime there is a something go your way or whatever, the solution is not to cry and bitch about it. First, you got to evaluate yourself. That's number one. So, since then, I've looked at some things I could have done better to make it more convincing outside of knocking him out. But yeah, I thought I did enough. Um, you know, the fight was in the trenches, so I know those can be hard fights to judge. I did feel like I landed the cleaner, more effective shots. But again, it was just such a inside fight. It was such uh, a lot. There was so much bulldozing and pushing back and forth that maybe that is what got the judges to have it so close. Now that last judge, hey, he I don't know what fight he was watching, you know, but maybe the Florida State Athletic Commission should consider finding someone else to replace him. He did the same thing in a previous fight at the same venue. So, um, some things I can't answer, but all I can do is get back in there and keep going. Now, you people have a voice, you know, the fans, the, the everybody besides the boxer has a voice. So if you people go on there and have something to say about it, something could possibly be done about it. And obviously we're gonna do our. That goes without saying. We're gonna do our part. We're gonna do everything we can to try to get this thing flipped around. But outside of that, it's just taking it on the chin, being better next time, and understanding why it happened, and not allowing it to happen again. Um, I could go deeper into that, but no, I'm gonna keep my head held high. I'm gonna keep my pride. I'm gonna keep on saying I'm 18-0, and I'm gonna keep on giving the fans what they want. So, I've done some soul searching and gonna continue to do that. So,
Yeah. I agree. Uh, can you still hear me? I think he disconnected. Hold on. Uh-oh, hold on. Uh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Give me a second, guys. Give me one second. Yeah, Brandon, can you hear me? Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Uh, yeah. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, this is a good conversation. Like I'm happy that Brandon came through. Have him speak his piece and just go about let the day. Hopefully he can return if he's able to. But yeah, let me just send him like another link, and then I'll try to get him back on. So, here's another. All right, yeah, but I'd say until he gets back in here, guys. Yeah, this is a pretty good discussion that I'm having with them. Uh, I personally thought Brandon was beating David, and he destroyed him. All right, there he is. Yo, can you hear me?
hey, no idea what that was, but
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Back to what you were saying. Did you have something else to say, or?
Oh no, you can
Yeah, yeah.
just like I said, I'm still processing myself.
Yeah, like I was just going to say like that's very interesting that you brought that up because I don't think not a lot of fighters really really speak up on certain things that are you know that are corrupt in the sport, and I think there needs to be like a much more bigger like voice out of the fighters to bring like a bigger change.
I, it cut out there. You said not a lot of fighters do what?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Like I was saying that not a lot of fighters come together to speak on the corruption in the sport. So therefore, when things like this happen, it seems like people just try to sugarcoat it to say, "Oh no, well, this fighter just lost fair and square," blah blah blah. But it's like this happens like all the time, and people see more instances where like it gets like a lot worse, or where people's careers definitely get cut short. Going through this type of motion. Can you hear me? No. I think we have connection issues. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, guys. Let's see. Yeah, give me a second, guys. Hold on. I'm gonna ask him. Yeah, man, this is bad. Oh boy. Yeah, sorry about this, guys. This is some bad technical errors. I don't know what's going on. Everything's good on my end. The connection's clean on my side, but I think it's just like the how should I say? I think it's the whatchamacallit. I think it's just like the connection itself. Yeah, hopefully Brandon could come back on so I could wrap things up with him and just just move on forward. But much appreciated to Brandon Glanton coming on. I definitely like to have him back on. Chop it up again and talk more boxing, man. He's a very cool person and like I like talking with him. But yeah, be sure to go check him out on his next fight. For Pro Box and definitely follow his career. Um, sooner than later, he should be closer to that title soon, and we get to see the best out of him. So yeah, but I'm going to try to see what's up with him. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's driving. He has to do things to resume his training, but yeah, I'll just ask him. Um, yeah, hold on. Yeah, give me a second. Yeah, so, uh, yeah, it's been, um, you have good second. Think pushing. Hold on. Um, so yeah, we can do. Imagine if you're busy, busy. Maybe. Yeah. All right. Uh, yeah. I don't know what's going on. I think he's busy doing something. But yeah. But then salute to everybody in the chat. Salute to TS Boxing. He said that was the first fight I watched you in Brandon. In Brandon, me and my dad watched it live. My dad was saying the Nigerian guy was beating you early, but then I said you were taking your time. Apoche was gonna gas out, and who else came through? Combat Tool Bag, salute to you. Thank you for coming by. TS Boxing said great interview. Yep, that was it's a great show. I'm happy that Brandon came by. And who else? Skywalker, salute to you, Skywalker. Thank you for coming by. Uh, yep, he says salute K Rod and Brandon. Good fight other night. And TS Boxing says, how do you say positive? Yeah, like I wanted to ask him that, but I was trying to let him say what he needed to say. But yeah, I don't know if he's gonna be able to come through. I think he's busy. So um, yeah, I'll just end it, and I will see you guys later. And yeah, unfortunately, I don't think Brandon's able to come by or come back because he probably has some things going on. So I'll just message him and say thank you for coming by. We'll just reschedule like another time. So yeah, that's pretty much it, y'all. I appreciate you guys for coming through. Be sure to hit the like button, comment, do what you got to do, and yeah, guys, I will see you guys later. And shout out to Brandon Glanton. I will definitely bring him back onto the show. Salute to you, Tyrone. Thank you for coming by, man. And yeah, I'll keep you guys updated when me and him could definitely chop it up again. Try to have like a better time frame, but yeah, um, I'll see you guys later, and peace out. Bye. Oh, and salute to you, Terry Smoke. All right, all right. Here's the outro.